This is how you change pump on a Beko washing machine. First thing you want to do, remove the machine from the water supply, remove drain hose and obviously remove power, never work live. We don't know how much slack are on these, so it's just best practice to remove them. Last thing you want to do is rag a machine out and then end up snapping or breaking that water connection. These sliders, they're about 20 quid on Amazon. They're not essential if you're just working on your own machine, but they help massively reduce any potential damage to a customer's floor, especially if they've got lino. You can see, slide them under front and back feet, and then literally all you've got to do is pull on sliders, and it's unbelievable how easy they are to pull out. They're the pipes. We didn't know how much slack were on those, so we just want to minimise any damage. Tip the machine back. Normally we would change your drain pump from underneath. We can't do it on this model. What we've got to do is take the front off machine. First thing we need to do, remove the lid, 2 screws, same as any other washing machine. Remove soap dispenser, screws in the display, and then screws that go through the display into the dispenser. If when pulling the display off you feel a little bit of resistance or like something's going to crack, have another look around, you might have missed a screw. I've seen it happen before. Onto the door seal. Small little screwdriver into that spring clamp, little bit of leverage, and you should be able to pull that straight off. Then you can work your way around door seal and just remove it and try and fold it inside the machine. Next, we're onto the door lock, just 1 screw in this model. Unscrew that and then reach your hand inside the machine, hold onto the door lock and then grab a small screwdriver, basically push that little black connector through and it should release. Next, we're onto the pump cover. They're a little bit finicky to get out, but these 4 clips, 1 in either corner, so just grab again a small screwdriver, release all 4 of those clips and then you should be able to maneuver it out of position. They are quite tricky to get out, but if you just follow what I do on video, be patient, wait, you shouldn't have an issue. Don't rag it out, don't force it, but eventually you'll get it. Now we've got the pump cover removed, we can get access to the 1 hidden screw just behind it. Remove that, and then all we've got left holding the machine into place is the 2 screws that were hidden behind the display. Remove those, and then the front of the machine should be free. Just lift it up and out, move it out of the way. Obviously it goes without saying, be careful with it, the door is glass, don't smash it. They're expensive to replace, obviously we don't want that. When that's out of the way, that gives us access to everything that we need. So we've got the pump there. All we've got on this is a connector for the sump, a connector for the drain, and then a connector for the power. While we're here, it's good practice just to make sure every other component that we can get access to is okay. So we're checking for leaks, we're checking for cracks, we're checking for any damage. And as with all washing machines, I always like to give the sump a quick squeeze. Just make sure there's no blockage in there. Basically, just eliminates any doubt in my mind that the machine won't be running perfectly after. Enables me to get a good review when it's done. 3 screws are all that's holding this drain pump into place. So just remove those and then remove the power connector. You're going to want a pair of water pump pliers to remove these clips. They can be done with just regular pliers, but I find these much easier. You get a much nicer angle on them. You may have a little bit of water in the machine if you've not drained it previous to this repair. I'd always recommend a wet vac for this, but if you've not got one, just tip the machine back like we did initially, open the filter with a bucket underneath and you should get rid of all that water, and then yeah, drain pump's released. So we've got us new drain pump. Again, just checking for blockages. The best way to attach the sump hose is to get your pliers, move the clip to the top of the hose as far as it'll go, then attach it to the filter and then bring the clip all the way back down. Now you want to make sure the clip goes in the exact same position it was removed from. It just eliminates any worry that this might pop off in the future. Make sure the filter is well in where the sump sits. You can see me checking that there. As long as that's true and the clip's gone back in the same spot, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. Do the same thing with the drain hose. So move the clip up, put the drain hose on, and then pull the clip back down in the exact same spot. Be perfect with it. You really don't want to mess this up, and then just reattach the power connector. So there was a little bit of an issue with the new pump that we'd ordered. The filter that came with it wasn't exactly the same as the old one. So the mounting screws were in the wrong spot. Not a major issue because the pump is really all that we need. So all we did, we took the old filter, put it on the new pump, just a simple twist mechanism, and then just reinstalled everything. Give it one last final check because we're about to put front back on. Go grab the front. There should be little white plastic tabs along the bottom rail of the machine. These should line up with holes on front. Simple as that. Just line them up, drop it in, and then push it forward. And these little retaining clips up the side that should hold it into place. Should go with a nice click. When you've got that, reinstall the 2 screws that were sitting behind the display, and then it's basically time just to start working in reverse. So get the hidden screw that was behind the pump cover, reach into the machine, grab the door lock, slide that into place and reinstall with a screw. Then onto the bit that everybody probably hates the most. It shouldn't be too bad because we're only doing the seal to the front of the machine, we're not doing the full thing. So just work it all the way around, ensuring that the plastic of the seal sits on lip at drum. I'll be honest with you, I'm in a bit of a bind on what to say, to be fair. There's not much to it, it just comes with practice and time. Again, be patient with it, work it all the way around, and then you should be good to go. Now we're on to the bit that's probably worse than the seal, spring clamp. There are tools available, again, on Amazon to make this a little bit easier. They're not really beneficial to this Beko because the spring's so big. They're better for your brands like LG, but again, place it on the top of the machine, bring it down to the bottom, and then try and use your hands to separate that spring and get it into place. Name it game, patience, eventually you'll get it. Pump cover goes in exactly the way it was taken out. Make sure all those corners sit into place nice and flush. Make sure the actual lid itself sits flush with machine. And now we're on home stretch. We've only got a couple of bits to go. So display first, slot that into position, make sure it's completely flush with the machine, slide the dispenser into place and re-screw those. Again, be conscious, make sure everything's flush, make sure everything's sat properly. It's so easy to install these, walk away and then realise, oh, you've got it at an angle. Soak dispenser in, lid on, push it back, and then we're good to test. So the main thing we're testing for is that the pump's working, obviously. So we want to fill it up with water, put it on a drain and spin, and then that's the noise you want to hear. That's the noise of a working drain pump. So yeah, if you've tried this repair yourself, I commend you for doing it. Hopefully you've got through okay. If anybody needs any advice, feel free to give me a shout in comments.